The Southeast, there was a water rescue in Long Beach this afternoon. We'll keep you posted on that. Good progress with moderate, so with the beach weather, just be careful.
Oh, okay. So I didn't miss it.
7 a.m. with the forecast, a shower Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
On 17, steamy that day, but that gets refreshing. Second half humidity. It's just a cool. Yes, it is, man. That's what Ryan is. Oh, look at you. You love being out here.
Yeah, listen, this is tennis weather out here, my friend. A little touch of fall, even Lee will tell you, though, it's still summertime. For those of you still wondering, we are previewing a big night here on Ash, including a major injury situation that just occurred a short time ago. All that for you and more we see in sports next.
How did Bob's become one of the fastest growing furniture stores in the country? Furniture heroes like JT from Quality Control. He ensures that every product meets Bob's high standards. And our 5-star consumer protect connected treasure mattress.
Heroes like Melanie from distribution. She makes sure you can get your dream power sofa in days, not weeks.
While Jackie from Finance keeps costs low, so everyday low prices stay lower. What a terrific trio. Everyday low prices on quality furniture delivered in days.
When allergies throw a sucker punch, the power of Claritin D punches back hard. Get fast, powerful relief of your worst symptoms like nasal congestion. Claritin clears.
I forgot to wash my brush.
Just wait again. I added in stuff, so don't plug. It keeps all the treasures all day.
She would be feeling hamburg today. She's missing the actually paying attention. Established the first breast cancer resource center, providing global support, education, and advocacy for women with cancer. A common sense leader, Lakeman banned males from competing in women's sports. Lakeman's keeping our families safe, cracking down on violent offenders, and putting more police on our streets, making us the safest community in the entire country. When it comes to our families, our children, and our future, Bruce Blakeman's fighting for us.
Taking a blood badge cover. Every medical addiction has a story to tell. But no, don't judge. Addiction is a medical condition, not a choice. Stop stigma and support treatment. Learn more at oasis.ny.gov.
Eligible for Medicare? Here's a great new reason to be happy. You may qualify for many savings programs that could lower your Medicare costs. Just talk to a Health First specialist about programs like Extra Help, Epic, and more. To learn how New Yorkers like you can save, call 1-855-790-1834. Health First Medicare Advantage Plans, where healthy starts.
Okay, she just sent the link. The link expires in 10 minutes, so I'm going to talk to her, okay?
Sponsored by New Balance. New Balance. We got now.
With Chase, you can get a debit card for your kids and families. And charge notifications, so you can keep an eye on how they're using it. Still on budget. Control for parents. Freedom for kids. That's family banking from Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Yeah, but we're going to get to that in just a second. But it's a big night on Ash for a lot of reasons. Because with Francis Tiafo, Ben Shelton, and Tommy Paul now eliminated, Taylor Fritz is now the last American hope to become the first American man to
I was taking it since probably about 2 years now, but the other doctor, when I met with her once before, she said she was going to give me something else to help because I kept having those low moments and things like that. She was going to give me something to help boost me along, but I never did go back and see her, things like that, because I had went back down south, and things like that. I take medicine for the thyroid as well. Synthroid. I take Synthroid. I'm gonna bring it back.
fair match, just eliminated a bunch of things within myself because I agree with you. Not that nothing matters but me, or I could do it.
What will it take for Taylor Fritz to get this done against Novak Djokovic tonight?
Well, it's going to take a lot. He's already turned against Novak Djokovic, but I believe that Taylor Fritz goes into the match with some belief. The last couple times he's played him, he's improved. He's had set points. He's served very set. So for him, the serve is the most important shot. Mental's got to go out there believing that maybe this is the time that he can beat Novak. Don't count on Taylor Fritz because, again, the mentality is there. If he can put it together with his serve, maybe he can do it here.
That is the hope. Fritz and Joker highlight the matches on Ash for starting 8 p.m. over on ESPN. As Lee pointed out earlier, Venus Williams on the court right now in her doubles quarterfinal match. Highlights of that tonight at 11. Elsewhere on the women's side, speaking of the Americans, Jessica Pegula punching her tickets to the semifinals for the second year in a row. She becomes the first American woman to reach the semis without losing a single set since Serena Williams accomplished the feat 11 years ago. Pegula beating Barbara Krejcikova 6-3, 6-3. Pegula will now face Arina Sabalenka in the semifinal. That's because Sabalenka was slated to face Markina Vandrousova at 7 p.m. on Ash, but moments ago, Vandrousova has withdrawn due to injury. She was warming up but grabbed her knee, ultimately forcing her to withdraw, setting up a Sabalenka-Pegula semifinal on Thursday. On the men's side, number 2 seed Carlos Alcaraz making short work of 20th seed Yuri Lehechka, winning in straight sets to punch his ticket to a third straight major semifinal. That means he'll now face the winner of Fritz and Djokovic on Friday. Alcaraz, in fact, has not dropped a set in this tournament. In the meantime, he's going to continue to perfect his golf game on his days off.
Working well, so what if I see chance, that routine. I mean, every day off, I just try to go to play some golf.
And based on that swing, I think he's going to be just fine. And knowing him, he'll probably shoot 10 under par. That guy is good at everything he does. Mets and Tigers tonight in Detroit. Yankees kicking off a huge 12-game stretch. The first of 3 in Houston. Highlights of all of it tonight at 11. Bill, Liz, and Lee will send it back to you in the studio.
So much going on. So much going on. It's wonderful. All right. Thanks for the report, Ryan. And that's it for us. Here's next.
I would say the choice not a little.
Tonight, we have breaking news just as we have. President Trump has just revealed a deadly U.S. military strike. The images just in tonight, the U.S. targeting a boat in the Caribbean. But the president says the vessel was carrying the military strike. The president says has been deadly. Here, Thomas standing by with what we just learned. Also breaking, President Trump late today saying of Chicago, we're going in. The governor there responding tonight after the Armed National Guard in Washington, D.C., and after the National Guard in Southern California. The president says Chicago is next, even as a federal judge ruled tonight the Trump administration broke the law with what it did in California. The Labor Day storms and the fires, the evacuations tonight, a couple swept away in flash floods. Also, the hurricane season here, where Ginger Z is watching tonight. The Labor Day shark attack, an 8-year-old boy, the harrowing call to 911. Bitten on the leg, airlifted to a hospital, only been told about the surgery so far. The child had prayed, turned deadly. Tonight, a man is now charged with murder, allegedly shooting and killing an 11-year-old boy who rang the doorbell and ran away. Tonight, victims of Jeffrey Epstein in Washington, D.C., meeting with the Speaker of the House. Their new push tonight to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. But the House Speaker is now saying that will there be a vote to release the files? Tonight, just weeks after President Trump rolled out the red carpet on U.S. soil for Vladimir Putin. Tonight, Putin is now in China, joining China's President Xi and North Korea's Kim Jong-un now in China too. The message they're sending to the U.S. and the world. Back in the U.S. tonight, the surveillance police searching for a wedding crasher who they say stole tens of thousands of dollars from a bride in the room. You'll see it. The alarming images were raised to say the young boy spotted high up on the monorail track at Hershey Park. The suspect dressed as Chuck E. Cheese arrested tonight. You'll hear the audio, what they say to him, what they call him. Tonight, our partners at Nat Geo and Actor Chris Hemsworth. His mission to help us all keep our brains sharp, how to fight off cognitive decline, and what he's willing to do about it. And we remember a well-known actor tonight who dances with wolves to Green Mile.
They have the Powerball tonight. The eye-popping new jackpot. From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Tina Hill. Good evening. It's great to be back with all of you at home after the Labor Day holiday. We do begin tonight here with breaking news. Just a short time ago, President Trump revealing the U.S. launched a deadly military strike in the southern Caribbean. The images just in here, the U.S. targeting a Venezuelan boat. The president says the vessel was carrying illegal drugs headed for the U.S. The president said just a short time ago 11 gang members were killed in the strike. The president authorizing military force against drug cartels in recent days, and our Chief Justice correspondent here, Thomas, leading us off with the breaking news.
Tonight, in a major escalation, the U.S. military launched a deadly attack on this suspected drug smuggling boat. President Trump releasing this dramatic video, eventually of a drug speedboat being destroyed. Over the last few minutes, literally shot at a boat, a drug carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. According to Trump, 11 people on board were killed, all alleged members of Venezuela's Tren de Aragua gang, which the president claims operates under the control and approval of Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro. Trump says that Maduro is responsible for mass murder, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and acts of violence and terror across the United States and the Western Hemisphere. Just days after the U.S. announced plans to boost forces off Venezuela to combat threats from drug cartels. The U.S. official confirming to ABC News that 8 Navy ships, including the amphibious assault ship U.S. Iwo Jima, were being assigned to the U.S. Southern Command. Venezuela's president has warned that any U.S. military action would be met with an armed fight. David, so far no response from the Venezuelan government. President Trump saying bluntly tonight, consider this a warning shot to the Venezuelan gang, which he has designated a terrorist organization. David,
Here, Thomas, with Lake reporting live in Washington. Thank you. The other breaking headline involves the city of Chicago. President Trump saying late today, we're going in. The governor of Illinois responding to that comes, of course, after the all-national ban in Washington, D.C., the federal takeover of police there, and after the National Guard in Southern California. And this news on Chicago tonight comes as a federal judge rules this evening the Trump administration broke the law with what it did in California. Eric Roots at the White House tonight.
Tonight, a federal judge ruling the Trump administration acted illegally by sending the National Guard to Los Angeles to put down immigration protests. Judge Charles Breyer accusing the administration of trying to create a national police force with the president as its chief. But tonight, President Trump undeterred, saying he's expanding his crime crackdown and will soon send the National Guard into Chicago.
well, we're going in. I didn't say when, we're going in.
The president setting his sights on Chicago after sending 2,000 National Guard troops to patrol the streets of Washington, D.C.
If the governors, Illinois, would call me up, I would love to do it. Now, we're going to do it anyway. We have the right to do it because I have an obligation to protect this country.
But Illinois Governor J.D. Pritzker says no.
I'm aware that the President of the United States likes to go on television and beg me to call and ask him for troops. I find this extraordinarily strange as Chicago does not want troops on our streets.
It comes after a violent Labor Day weekend in Chicago. At least 58 people shot, 8 killed. Still, local officials say violent crime is down nearly 22% this year. Pritzker saying Trump just wants power.
He has surrounded himself with groveling yes men who are too weak to restrain his most violent and unhinged impulses, or who share those impulses. As a governor who cares about the well-being of my people, I can't live in a fantasy land where I pretend Trump is not tearing this country apart for personal greed and power.
And David, it's unclear when Trump would send those troops to Chicago, but again, the judge in that court ruling making it clear the federal government is not supposed to use the military for law enforcement. And Governor Pritzker is promising he would fight this in court. David.
Eric Roots live at White House. Mary, thank you. To be able to use this Tuesday night, we're following a horrific shark attack, a Labor Day attack in Florida, an 8-year-old boy. The shark attacking his leg. Tonight, here the heroine called the 911. The boy airlifted to a hospital, and what we know about the surgery so far. Victor Kendall from Phillips.
Tonight, an 8-year-old boy airlifted to the hospital in Miami after suffering severe bite wounds from a shark off the coast of Key Largo.
The harrowing 911 call coming in just after 3 p.m. Monday. The boy's leg bitten as he and his family snorkeled near Horseshoe Reef, about 4 miles from Key Largo. People on a diving boat nearby hearing the yells. A good Samaritan helping dive the family's boat 20 minutes to shore, where first responders were waiting to board.